I'm here to play games. My name is Mike Epp, and I'm the Senior Vice President for the global part of ACSI. We have a Vice President for USA operations and for the global operations. That is a privilege that I get to serve in that way. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10 says, "We are His workmanship, created in Christ Jesus, to do good works that He has prepared for us in advance." Workmanship can be translated a number of ways. Artwork, handiwork, masterpiece. It intrigues me that you and I are a part of His handiwork, His workmanship. We are called to that work. And the work you are in, He has prepared you for, prepared you in advance. He has called you to these important positions. You, I'm very biased, but you are in some of the most important work in the whole world, the perpetuation of our faith in Jesus Christ. I congratulate you for that as we begin. I want to share with you briefly what ACSI is about. The mission, and this is in your booklet as well, ACSI exists to strengthen Christian schools and equip Christian educators worldwide, working together with you to prepare them all over the world as they prepare students academically and inspire them to be devoted followers of Jesus Christ. It has already been mentioned a couple of times that we're looking to see that we can pull together spiritual formation and academic development for the best preparation, working together with the church, the family, and the school. This is part of the big philosophy, the mission of ACSI, to work together with you to help accomplish this. The vision is that Christian schools will will contribute to the public good through effective teaching and learning that are biblically sound, academically rigorous, socially engaged, and culturally relevant. And educators who embody a biblical worldview engage in transformational teaching and discipling and embrace personal and professional growth. So this is the mission and vision of ACSI, which is an association of Christian schools throughout the world. I'll show you a little on a map. We have 29 offices, and 16 of those offices, 17 of those offices are outside of the United States, in 17 different countries. And we'll look at that in just a little bit. 108 countries that we have Christian schools in, 24,000 Christian schools in the association, serving more than 5.5 million students. Don't know if you picked this up, but you are a part of a very large picture of what God is doing throughout the entire earth through Christian schooling. You are being used with many brothers and sisters in Christ. Amazing, is it not? Those are the offices that we have in the United States. We have 2 in Canada, Eastern Canada, Western Canada. Each one of these represent an association of schools, an office that serves a network of schools in their region. So ACSI Europe, which you will see on the map in just a little bit, serves the schools in Europe. We have several actually in Asia. We have several in Latin America. And we have one in the Ukraine, speaking of this region as well. And so that's where these, I'm not going to explain every dot on the map at this point. But these are all the different locations: Central, South America. Then in Africa, there are 3 offices. Then offices also throughout Asia and Australia. Some of the up-and-coming big developments in Christian schooling happen to be in China, in India. These are places we've barely touched yet. To be truthful, we are overwhelmed with all of the work to do. It's stretching. And Africa is booming with Christian schooling. It's amazing what God is doing there. And there are associations also coming to work together with us. Recently, Australia wants to start an office. And so they're talking with us about that. And we'll be collaborating in the work that God is doing throughout the world. So this gives you a little bit of a picture. I want to share our heart also. We are not here to export America to anyone. We are an international organization. In fact, the international side is now much larger than the part of the United States. And these 3 concentric circles speak of our heart and working together. We hope and desire, as I'm sure you do, that we'll be able to support culturally relevant and effective Christian schooling. That it would be led by local educators. That we would be bringing people from other places to do that work. Some places, as in what our brother Drexler is doing, it is necessary for training to be able to do that, to share resources. But it's always in the context of understanding that culture, what's best for that country, that region. I would never suppose to know what you know about your region. I respect your culture, I respect your history, and ACSI respects you as the experts in your region, in your context. If we can collaborate in ways and share resources to help each other, that is what we would like to do. And then, particularly in developing countries, we want to help them. I'm thinking this is a big part of my work in Africa, is help them to have a sustainable program, something that they can run in their own economic context, that it's not dependent upon money from Europe or the United States or Australia or other places, that they can run their own offices and their own schools. In ACSI, these are a few of the things that ACSI provides in all of our offices. Leadership training, teacher training, school improvement and accreditation, publications, student activities, connections with higher education, and school consultation. I might just refer to the connections with higher education. In many places, United States included, there is often a disconnect between universities, even Christian universities, and K through 12 schooling, primary and secondary schooling. Part of our job is to help universities be able to see the need to have training for teachers who will work in Christian schools. So that's part of this work that we want to be a help, a partner in as we work together. These are students in the Congo. There are some amazing schools, some amazing things that God is doing. These are students on the border of what used to be Burma, Myanmar, and India. And they don't look very Indian, but they're in a large Christian school. There's thousands of Christian schools in some of these areas, and we're working together. Korea, we have many Christian schools in Korea. These are all schools indigenous, their own country. They run in their own country, running their curriculum for that particular nation and region. We are called to train Christian educators and assist schools in their development so that the next generation will know God, His Word, and how to live out a life that dynamically serves Him in every sector of society. He commanded our forefathers to teach their children so that the next generation would know them, even the children yet to be born. And they in turn would tell their children. Then they would put their trust in God. That's our ultimate goal, is it not? That our children, our students, will completely put their trust in God. That they will have a firm relationship with Jesus Christ. That they will know His Word. They will know how to be His salt and light in our societies. I think I've left myself enough time to share one story. Many of us, we're going to pray a little bit later, but many of our schools, and I'm sure many of yours, face incredible challenges. We are called in our Christian schools to serve God, but we face many challenges. Sometimes it's from politics, sometimes it's from economy, sometimes it's from culture. Some of our brothers and sisters in the Ukraine, schools have had to abandon because they've been caught in the crossfire. They've had to shut down. Very difficult circumstances. Eight months ago, I was in Nigeria, and there, as Nigerian Christian schools are really growing, many fine schools, but in the northern part of Nigeria, we had a leader who came to our conference in Lagos, in the southern part of Nigeria, and he shared what had happened to him with the Boko Haram. You maybe have heard of that group. This man had lived in the northern part of Nigeria, at a Christian school that he had started out of request from his community to start a school. He started a Christian school and had 160 students. That school was invaded by the Boko Haram, the whole city was, and they burned the school to the ground, and they actually ran after students. And they found one particular young man in his aunt's house, a 17-year-old student, pulled him from under the bed where he was hiding and asked him to denounce his faith in Jesus Christ. He refused. They killed him on the spot. Some of our brothers and sisters are suffering. Some maybe in this room are suffering. And as an association, our desire is that we unite to pray for one another and to uphold one another, that we may be strong to carry out what God has called us to do. Thank you for the excellent work that you are doing in your schools. Thank you for continuing through the challenges. May we again unite for His cause, for His purpose, for eternity's sake. Thank you.